Alright guys, if you want to grow 3 inches, a massive 3 inches, then you'll follow these easy dumb tips and you'll be guaranteed 3 inches. So what you want to do, first of all, you want to go ahead and just eat more food. Second of all, you want to drink more milk. You probably want soy milk or almond milk, but I mean, if you do want to drink one of those regular milks from cows and cow udders, the piss milk, then you want to go ahead and take 2% milk over the whole milk. It'll save you a few calories or something. I have no idea. I don't actually know what the difference is. Lastly, the third and final dumb easy tip to get you bigger faster is I'll watch this video. Okay, so I am Bozo, and today I'm gonna go ahead talk about a little something with you. I'm gonna talk about some music. I'm gonna talk about some jams. So music. Let's give context to these scrubs. They don't know shit. Okay, boys, I'm back. I had a cut. I had to go eat and drink some milk. And then what was I saying? Oh yeah. Okay, you listen to music. I listen to music. We all listen to music for the same reason. It's so that we could make fun of other people that don't listen to music as much as we do, because we can't get laid. Okay, so you always have to keep in mind, you're the man, they're the bitch, okay, because they don't listen to as much music as you do. If you're a guy and you listen to more music than another guy, you're the alpha male. You rule the world. Oh yeah, so besides that whole thing, I just want to give some context. My year in 2015 in music. Admittedly, I am not really caught up with music in 2015. I kind of left it on the back burner a bit, not really paying attention to it. I've been more kind of exploring stuff from the past. This is because, I listen to like Carrie and Lowell. Okay, people are like, Carrie and Lowell, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. But it was okay. And then To Pimp a Butterfly, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. But I thought it was okay. Plus, I didn't even listen to Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion. So you could really get the sense that I'm behind on this year. Haven't listened to a lot of what's being called the best of the best. But I'm just gonna give you a rundown on what I have listened to, because I've seen a lot of the same things on the same people's lists, and not to say that I'm not I'm not a hater, okay, I'm far from a hater. I'm none of that, okay. I love Kendrick Lamar. Don't have a list prepared, so it's kind of gonna be rough. It doesn't matter because this is a mid-year list anyways. It's exactly why I'm not really tripping on the albums that I missed too. Kamasi Washington, that's an example of an album that I'm kind of looking forward to listening. Kind of a genre in a genre that I kind of want new music from. It's gonna be hard to not give that one more than a 4. I mean, contextually speaking, but we'll see. We'll see what new albums end up on the list, or if maybe even some of the albums on the list right now don't make it on the list at the end. And who knows, I might not even do an end of the year video. Maybe I'll be dead. So let's just hope for the best. Let's just hope for whatever happens, which is all we could ask for, baby. 10. Mount Eerie, Sauna. This album was my album of the year, going in to I think February was it released or something. Cooled off on me a bit. Just kind of like warm, really pretty, drone. lo-fi, like indie stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you just want to, chill out, smoke a doob, kind of not necessarily anything that, be all crazy about, like I said, haven't listened to a lot of stuff this year. So number 9, I'm going to go ahead. Prurient Frozen Niagara Falls. This album is by Sad Boy. He's not a rapper, but he's a sad boy, and what he does is he basically takes like a Behringer mixer or something, and he runs a bunch of he loops a bunch of distortion pedals or something, and then he touches metal with a stick, and that's how he makes his music. It sounds a little bit weird, if it didn't give me, if it didn't look cool that I listen to harsh noise. I wouldn't listen to harsh noise. No one would listen to harsh noise. You think people actually like harsh noise? Yeah, this isn't necessarily completely harsh noise. I don't even think it's really harsh noise at all, really. It's not. It's all the same shit. But this guy, he makes a really atmosphere. He makes a landscape. This guy, he makes noise music that feels huge. I mean, usually you get the same old kind of the wall of noise type stuff from artists. This guy, it's like he actually pans different channels to sides and stuff, and he actually does work to mix these pieces interestingly. In terms of people that may have influenced him, or in terms of his contemporaries, he's not necessarily taking a lot of stuff from other people right here. But maybe one criticism is that it does sound a bit stock at times, and the fact that it's such a long project, I guess you can't really remember specific events in the album as well as you could with a shorter project. But I guess that's an argument for you can make that argument for any album. But I don't know, I especially feel it here since it's a noise album and it's not necessarily supposed to be melodic. Although most of these tracks do follow form in some way or another. My number 8 is gonna have to be XE. I think it's maybe Ch. Is it Exa? I don't even know how you would pronounce that. I don't even know how to pronounce the artist name. Is it Z? I have no idea. Their names for albums and their artist name, just as weird as the music here. It's very kind of abstract, kind of minimalist type stuff. These guys are also inspired by math rock. There's a bit of crossover stuff between experimental and just regular rock music, which I found to be pretty interesting. Go ahead and listen to Wolf Government if you're just kind of trying to pick out a track real quick for it to listen to, because that one's the best one on there. Very textury. It's a very textury album. If you're interested in Oinkyo, but you're like, hey, what if Slint tried to make Oinkyo or something along those lines, then you would get this album, because it's all about texture, really. My number 7, I'm gonna go ahead and say Leviathan, Scar-Sided. Okay, so this album is good because I was listening to it and my mom, she heard it through my headphones. She said, "That sounds like a cat is dying. It sounds awful." I'm not sure where she was when I was listening to Prurient, so all I have to say is that it was cool because I was wearing all black. The people around me, they were scared. So if you want to look like someone who would burn a church down or kill somebody, then go ahead and listen to this album. This album is really just kind of a lot like Leviathan's other stuff, focused on just pummeling the listener. It's really kind of, I wouldn't say a fresh. I'm calling this a fresh breath of air, when really it's a lot of what other black metal bands do. I won't say it's the best thing in the world. I'm just saying it's a solid album for what I wanted. I mean, I was kind of not necessarily looking forward to Leviathan's project here but kind of hoping that someone would release some 90s sounding brutal black metal. Of course he's from the US. I mean, he's been doing it since the 90s, but this isn't his best album. I would say his best album is either the 10th Sublevel of Suicide or Tentacles of Horror. Those are my favorite ones. But this one, like I said again, just solid, brutal, harsh sounding black noise, but very refined, very refined. My number 6, Scallops Hotel. This is a sub project from Milo. He's a nerdy guy, okay? He's not one of those guys who's gonna rap over, boom bap and give you the same braggadocious shit you've heard all the past 30 years of hip hop's existence. He speaks about ideas that are kind of esoteric, kind of only tangible thoughts to himself. There's a lot that you could read into. There's a lot that you could perceive to be going on in his lyrics. So I think that's a very kind of interesting aspect when an artist kind of gives the power to the listener and lets him. But yeah, if you're into like philosophy and you're also into rap and you spend a lot of time in your bedroom, then I would go ahead and suggest this album to you, because there's a lot of that type of stuff going on here. Number 5, Sean McCann, 10 Impressions for Piano and Strings. So in terms of impressionism, I'm kind of like a pretty big fan of Eric Satie. Is that even how you pronounce this? I'm pretty sure it is how you pronounce his name. This guy, not necessarily a lot like that. He's obviously, it's kind of, impressionism is sort of like improv almost. Well, not necessarily improv, but kind of like not follow form as much as like other stuff. If you like piano music, basically is what I'm saying. If you like piano music, you like just sweet songs. If you go to Starbucks a lot and you want to say, hey dude, pop this one in here, request lines are open, then tell him, shit, someone's calling my number. Hello? Request lines are open. Go ahead, tell him, yo, play some slaps from my boy Sean McCann. That impressionism. I mean, if you're really trying to, impress a woman too, you play this music and they'll be like, wow, this is beautiful. You must think of really beautiful things. All right, Death Grips, Jenny Death. Okay, to me, this counts as its own album. I don't give a shit what you guys have to say. Jenny Death is its own release. The Powers That Be is a compilation of Jenny Death and Niggas on the Moon. Jenny Death, it's cool, all right. It's loud. It's in your face. There's a lot of interesting things going on here that haven't been going on in Death Grips music in the past. Really, they're taking a huge leap towards the warmth kind of analog sounds of yesteryear, as they're not necessarily sounding all that synthetic anymore. You're getting Zach Hill's drums more up in the front. You're getting some guitar played by maybe even the guy from Twilight again. You get what you'd expect on a Death Grips record here. It's not necessarily run of the mill. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say they're gonna give it to you raw, man. They're gonna give you that hacker shit. That's just what they do. I mean, let's take a look at the track lists, okay? Okay, hold on. Let's just look at the track list. That alone is gonna get me hyped. Hold on, I can't even look at the track list because it's not even here on RYM, because apparently they don't think it's a goddamn album. You guys are stupid. Oh, here we go. I Break Mirrors with My Face in the United States. That song, classic Death Grips. Okay, Inanimate Sensation. Did you see the googly eyes, the big glasses that MC Ride was wearing in the music video? Damn, son, that's clean. Okay, Turned Off. The part when the chorus comes in, that just slaps right there. You could play that in the whip if you wanted to, because I mean, you could play that with your friends. That's Turned Off, man. That's my jam. Okay, why a bitch gotta lie? He raises a good question here. Why does a bitch have to lie? I mean, personally, I don't think a bitch does have to lie. I think if a bitch wanted to, he or she cannot lie. All right, psst, psst. A lot of people found that song uncomfortable. to me, that's, all artists have to put a song like that on there, for the females, you gotta get that tension in there, you know what I'm saying? The powers that be. Ironically, the title track of the compilation, not necessarily my favorite one, unless I'm thinking of another track. On GP, damn, that should have been the closer on this one. Death Grips 2.0, it's alright. It's kind of like horror synthy, kind of like sci-fi, type deal. But on GP, that's like it doesn't even sound like Death Grips is playing that song. It sounds like, Stefan Burnett's just kind of like fronting some random punk band or something. That's kind of why I love it so much. But dude, that song just cuts damn deep. It's so deep. Number 3, Ahnnu, Perception. Just real fast. This is kind of a one that I listened to recently. If you listen to Ahnnu's world music, and like me, you found that kind of underwhelming. This album, it's not like world music at all. It's more, spacious, kind of, plunderphonic stuff. It doesn't necessarily have that larger than life feel that a lot of plunderphonics albums have. Very kind of like spacious, but not in a way where it's kind of like reverby and like kind of atmospheric in that type of way. It's more like you're kind of in a room surrounded by things that are going on, and you hear like bells whistling over there, and you got some guy whispering behind you, and then you got your mom screaming at you from the right. Okay, that sort of spacious, just kind of well mixed, well produced. It's pretty synthetic actually for a plunderphonics album goes. I mean, usually you get some really kind of grainy old samples. This is really kind of clear sounding. There's not a lot of noise on here. Not a lot of white noise stuff that you usually hear in sampling music. Yeah, if you want kind of like a abstract type of plunderphonics album, it's kind of spacious, clear, synthetic. The words that I use to describe this, and then go ahead and check this one out. It's a pretty dandy one. All right. My second of all time in the year 2015, Pinkshinyultrablast. Everything else matters. It's not gonna blow you away like Loveless. There's a lot of things to the songwriting that kind of make it a bit, I guess, cliche in the way that the crescendos kind of dominate the sonic bias here in terms of like, okay, they're playing something, now they're playing something loud. And in terms of the pedals that they're using and the experimentation in that respect, there are moments where it kind of sounds a little bit muddy. Kind of just like some of the pedals might have been a little bit too wet, namely maybe the reverb, not the reverb, the delay might have been a little bit too wet sometimes, but still just some interesting stuff. It's really kind of like it's really kind of like weird too, because it's not necessarily like clear what's being said to me all the time. Sometimes you don't need to say words even to make a good album. Sometimes you could just speak syllables, and that would be good enough for me. I don't necessarily care that much about lyrics anyway. So number 1 of 2015, Little Ugly Mane, Third Side of Tape. It would kind of at this point be almost disrespectful to call him a rapper, but that's what he's mainly known for. But he's got his hands here in all types of stuff. Okay, 1 minute he's playing he's doing one of his instrumental hip-hop things, or he's rapping about his kitty being lost, and the next minute, he's playing a hardcore punk song, he's playing black metal, or he's got some techno going on. This is the third compilation out of 3, the third and last one out of 3. This one, for some reason, is garnering a lot of attention. I think it's supposed to be his last release, I have no idea. Yeah, I've been a big fan of his ever since Uneven Compromise. I mean, he'll pop up occasionally on other rappers, kind of doing the same thing, rappers that have their hand in like southern hip hop or kind of like experimentally produced Memphis rap or something, kind of and his style of that type of music is actually kind of, I don't want to say that it's unoriginal. I'm just trying to say it's not completely original, but it is a lot original. So if you want to listen to one of those type deals, go ahead and pick up Uneven Compromiser, pick up Mr. Thug Isolation. But here, in terms of what we got here today, it's pretty much a mixed bag. Okay, you're not gonna get that Memphis rap style from him. You're not gonna get that the kind of cloudy stuff. You're gonna get straight collage. It's gonna be an appreciation of all genres of music. It's a display of all genres of music, or kind of most of them, because really you get the whole package here. You really have to give it up to Little Ugly Man for being just so talented and putting all this stuff together and having the appreciation of music that he has. And it's actually kind of like, it's almost hard not to kind of fall in love with this album. So I mean, if you're looking for kind of like a focused project, this probably isn't going to be your cup of tea. To me, this album is sick. You don't get a lot of hip hop on here. You get a bit of it. You do get a good tad of hip hop. Hip hop, I would say, is the most done genre on here. But when you do get the hip hop tracks, they are solid. They are absolutely amazing. I mean, the production style that he has is like probably my favorite right now. Okay, so that's my top 10 for 2015 in music. I hope you had a good day. If you watched this far into my video, I'd like to say thank you, because that was a good thing you did there. Don't forget to donate to my PayPal.